All right, guys, hope you guys are having the best holidays ever, man. I'm Michael Allen, TravelCostaRicaNow.com. TravelCostaRicaNow.com is a travel agency, so go to TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Fill out the 4-minute form. You'll be that much closer to the vacation of a lifetime. We're like you, having best friends who live in Costa Rica, who know Costa Rica, totally hooking up your Costa Rica vacation. I love to subscribe, man. I do, and I hope you do subscribe. But YouTube doesn't care. If you want to see our videos in sequence when we make them, you got to hit the notification bell. I'd appreciate it. All right, man, this video is for your consideration and a warning to some of you. A warning to some of you, not all of you. Not all of you. We're going to be talking about loneliness. Loneliness in Costa Rica. Loneliness is one of the most beautiful places on the planet. You can still feel alone. I've talked about some of these things before, and you're going to go, well, you've talked about some of these things before. Anybody that watches me consistently, we're going a little deeper on this one. We're going a little deeper because I think it's important. Now, we're not going to go too deep. We're not going that deep. And I can tell you, this has a happy ending. Or, you know, it can have a happy ending. I'm gonna end on a good note. Let's go with that. All right, I've made the video. You've seen the videos from a lot of people. Why do people leave Costa Rica? They come to Costa Rica, they move here, but then they leave. Why do they leave? Oh, they say it's too expensive. They say it's a series of minor annoyances they can't put up with. Their business didn't work. They're not making the money they were supposed to make, etc., etc., etc. Now, through the years, I posited my theory. I believe a lot of people leave Costa Rica because they couldn't deal with the time they had. They didn't do the things they said they were going to do, and they couldn't understand why they weren't doing them, and they couldn't deal with it. Well, you can't go back to your home country and say, well, I left Costa Rica because I had too much time on my hands. Because that's too much a reflection of you, right? Some people have a hard time looking in the mirror and take responsibility for their decisions. It's much easier to blame Costa Rica. Now, I got no scientific data on this, but I've lived here long enough and I've seen it enough to know some people are lying why they move back to their home country. But let's move on. I believe that time is the most important commodity. I mean, you guys would agree with that, right? We have a finite time on this planet and we want to fill that time the best way we can, right? I mean, time, it's not money, it's definitely time. So, you know, in the United States, when I was living there 16 years ago and before, and I know a lot of people that live in Canada and Europe, we live a life of distraction. We get on that hamster wheel and it keeps going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and it's very, very hard to get off. It's very hard to get off. And instead of slowing down, it just seems to go faster. Now, obviously you have responsibilities as a human. You got tasks to do. I get that. But what happens, I think, for a lot of us, and happened to me as well, you're moving so fast, you really have no time for yourself. You're giving all your time to other people and other places. And again, I'm not saying that's all bad. But there's no moderation of your distraction and tasks. It's just your all day is like that, and there's no time for you. There's no time for whatever that is. Is it art? Is it meditation? Whatever it is, not a whole lot of time for us there. You know, or there's just not a whole lot of time for yourself. That's it. Okay, so I'm sure you could understand that Costa Rica probably has a lot less distraction, right? It's a different lifestyle. It's a simple life. That's what I always say this wrong. You guys get pura vida. That's what it means. It's a pure life, simple life. It's mañana. It's all that, and there's a lot of good things that come with that. And also, you're living in one of the most beautiful countries on the planet. But they do have a lot less distraction. Now, a lot of people are looking for that. A lot of people are more my age, they're retirees, are coming down here to live that simple life and have a life of less distraction. There's not a lot of 17-year-olds going, I'm going to move to Costa Rica. Some, but even them, they want to maybe go surf or something or do something. But so a lot of people are looking to Costa Rica to do the things they never really got a chance to do. That's a large percentage. Not everybody, but most people. So you decide Costa Rica is for you. You did your homework, you did your research, And you come to Costa Rica, and of course, like anything, there's a honeymoon period. You know what a honeymoon period is, right? Everything is fresh. You're having sex twice a day, every day. And I think we could all agree that that honeymoon period does go away eventually. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. But in Costa Rica, the honeymoon period means, you know, depends on what you're doing. Maybe you're building a house down here. Maybe you're starting a teak farm, or you know, there's a lot of things. Maybe you're trying to get your residency, you're meeting with lawyers, you're doing things, and you're on task, you're doing stuff. And I've seen the honeymoon period last 2 years, and then I've seen it last 6 months. But it does, at some point, you got time. You got time, and with that time comes all those things you said you were going to do with that time. Okay, so now again, what I'm about to say isn't everybody. It's a large part, and it actually pertains to me. We're not going to get into me, but I'm just saying a lot of things I'm about to say do pertain to me. So you come down here, and yeah, you got to take care of your home or whatever. You got those things, but now you have a whole afternoon, man. You have a whole afternoon, a whole evening. What are you doing? Are you doing those things you said you were going to do? Did you start writing your book? Are you starting your art course? Are you doing any of these things? Well, if you're not doing those things, it can definitely get in your head of, why aren't I doing these things I said I was going to do in one of the most beautiful places on the planet? And it starts messing with you a little bit, because now you do have to self-reflect, and guess what? You got a lot of time to do it, and you can get stuck in here. It can be self-esteem things. So what happens is, you start going, I'm in Costa Rica and I'm not doing those things. But here's the kicker. So, okay. But now, you know, some of us have been dealing with issues all our life, right? Maybe we drink too much. Maybe we got a little drug issue. Maybe we overeat. Maybe we got some mental health issues, right? Some of those things. Costa Rica can exacerbate those to degrees that are hell, actually, freaking hell, because you don't have the distraction anymore. You just have time, and you get stuck in here. You lose yourself in here. Instead of just, you know, they like to say, you know, don't think too much, just be, you know, just be. Well, yeah, that sounds good when you say it, but when you start getting in your head and you lose yourself there, and you start wondering, you know, you're questioning yourself, am I just a loser? Why aren't I doing these things? And then again, drugs, alcohol, some of these other addictions, some mental issues, maybe you deal with a little bit of depression, whatever it is. Costa Rica can exacerbate that to a hellish life. And then what do you think? Well, why do I feel like hell living here? Why do I feel like that? So you see how that cycle can go? So what I'm trying to say is, if you deal with these things and you can't figure them out, or you don't have a grip on them, Costa Rica can make it 1,000 times worse. 1,000. So, you know, maybe you weren't an alcoholic when you got here. You just drank. So what? But now, you know, when you so yeah, I have my Pinot Noir at 5 o'clock. I drink my wine at 5. Costa Rica make you start drinking that wine at 12 o'clock. And that's the example I'm trying to say. And that's what I'm trying to say. Mental issues, addictions, issues, self-esteem stuff, whatever it is, Costa Rica can make it 1,000 times worse if you don't have things to do. Now, the good side of this is the opposite is true. The opposite is totally true. If you do all those things, if you start your art class, if you start writing your book, if you start volunteering at the animal refuge, or helping little Tico kids with their English, or making new friends, and you know, all the stuff that you can do that are positive, you will have a full life. And Costa Rica gives the best environment, the best atmosphere, the best backdrop, the best simple life thing, and you will have a beautiful, very fulfilling life if you do those things you said you were going to do, and you can keep some of those other things at bay and in check. And obviously, I think anybody would agree, just in a very simple, not going too crazy on this, if you're busy, you know, you're less in here, right? You're less in here. So again, we're not going to go way down that rabbit hole, but I'm just saying is if you do the things you said you're going to do, is start your hobbies, make your friends, because it doesn't even matter if you come down here with a partner. You get stuck in your head, and the you know, the loneliness can be deafening. So that's the only point of this video. Know that that can happen. Know that you can go to the freaking dark side, and know you can go to the simple life of Costa Rica side. That's it. Easy peasy. Anyway, guys, I would be very interested in hearing what your comments, what you think. Maybe you can relate, maybe you can't, maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. I would love to hear it. I find this whole thing kind of interesting, and I'd like to hear from you. Anyway, guys, I'm Michael Allen, TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Peace, guys. Hope it helps. Things are going to pop up. And if you're thinking about living or traveling anywhere, you should do your homework and research. So there's no better place to start than our videos, because most people don't talk to you about this. Tell me who's name somebody that does these kind of videos. Tell me. I want to see them. Maybe they get one. All right, man. Happy New Year.